Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something important, something that often gets overlooked, frankly, in men's health. We're talking Kegel exercises, but specifically, why so many guys just aren't getting the benefits.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and our starting point for this is a really fascinating episode from the Strong Foundation podcast. It featured Dr. Sarah Chen, who's a pelvic floor physio, and also Marcus Rodriguez, a men's health advocate and fitness coach. Some really eye-opening stuff came out of their conversation.
Definitely. What's fascinating, and maybe a bit shocking, is how widespread this issue is, but also how simple the potential fix can be. We're talking about Kegels. It's a free exercise, totally foundational, and it can massively improve men's health, especially like with erectile dysfunction. Yet, and this is the kicker, something like 40% of men who actually try them are doing them wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, nearly half. So their effort is, well, basically wasted.
40%.
But
That's a huge number. And think about it, 30 million American men deal with ED. So here's this basic exercise, people know the name, but for millions, it's just not working because of these mistakes. So today, that's what we're digging into, why they often fail, and, more importantly, how you can actually fix it.
Exactly. That's the mission here. We want to pinpoint those critical mistakes that are sabotaging guys' routines without them even realizing it. But it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff. We'll also cover some surprising benefits that go way beyond what most people think. By the end of this, you should have some really clear, actionable things you can use.
Okay, good. Let's start with the basics then. A lot of men hear Kegel and think, oh, that's for women, right? Or maybe just bladder leaks.
Yeah.
Why are those ideas so stuck? And what's the actual deal with the male pelvic floor?
Yeah, those misconceptions are definitely out there, and they really, really miss the mark. The male pelvic floor isn't just some, minor support structure. Think of it more like a muscular hammock. It stretches from the pubic bone right back to the tailbone. And Dr. Chen specifically mentioned a couple of key muscles in there, the ischiocavernosus and bulbocavernosus.
Okay, bit of a mouthful, but important.
Very important, because they actually surround the base of the penis and are super active during an erection. So connecting the dots, these aren't just like background support muscles, they are absolutely performance muscles.
Performance muscles. I like that. That really shifts the perspective, doesn't it? From just fixing problems to actually enhancing things. So besides just reframing it, what specific benefits did Dr. Chen and Marcus talk about? Where can getting Kegels right really make a difference for men?
Oh, the list is pretty impressive, actually. First off, erectile dysfunction. Dr. Chen basically said Kegels should be a first-line approach. Strengthening those specific muscles directly helps you get and maintain erections. Then there's preventing premature ejaculation. That's a big one for a lot of guys, causes a lot of stress. But it goes further. Correct Kegels can help manage issues like prostatitis pain or swelling from BPH that's an enlarged prostate.
Right.
And maybe this is surprising to some, they can actually increase sexual pleasure, better control, potentially more intense orgasms.
Oh, wow. Okay. That range ED, prostate health, actual pleasure, it really highlights how fundamental these muscles are. Makes you wonder why it's not, shouted from the rooftops more often.
Yeah.
It really drives home why getting them right is such a potential game changer. So if the payoff is that big, let's dive into the mistakes. What's mistake number one?
Right, mistake number one. And this is probably the most common one, simply targeting the wrong muscles. So many guys end up clenching their abs or their butt muscles or even their thighs thinking they're doing a Kegel. Marcus, on the podcast, admitted he used to do what he called mini sit-ups, just tensing his whole stomach.
I can picture that.
Yeah, and Dr. Chen sees it constantly. She mentioned guys squeezing their glutes so hard they almost lift off the table. It's like trying to flex your bicep but ending up shrugging your shoulder instead. You're putting in effort, but it's completely misdirected.
Okay, I think a lot of us can probably relate to that feeling of just tensing everything. So how do you find the right ones? How do you isolate them properly?
The key cue they gave is to imagine you're trying to stop the flow of urine midstream or maybe trying to hold back gas. When you do that action internally, you should feel a kind of slight pulling or lifting sensation, specifically in your pelvic area between your legs.
Okay, slight pull.
Yeah, and crucially, without tightening your abs, your butt, or your thighs, it should feel subtle. It's not about force, it's precision. An internal lift, not a big external squeeze.
That makes sense. Subtle precision. Now that midstream urination tip, you mentioned it for identification.
Right.
The source was really clear at a warning there, right?
Oh, absolutely critical distinction. Yes. That stopping your pee thing is only a learning tool. Like, do it once, maybe twice, just to feel the muscles.
Just to find them.
Exactly. Dr. Chen was emphatic. Do not make a habit of it. Don't do it as your regular Kegel exercise, because constantly interrupting your urine flow can actually mess with your bladder function over time. Could lead to problems emptying properly or even UTIs.
Right. Got it. Use it to learn the feeling, then stop doing it when you actually pee. Makes total sense.
Okay, so we found the right muscle. What's the next big hurdle? The podcast mentioned not fully relaxing between contractions. That surprised me a bit. Relaxation is as important as the squeeze.
It really is, and it's a mistake Dr. Chen highlighted as potentially even more problematic than squeezing the wrong muscle sometimes.
Right.
People get so focused on the squeeze part, the effort, that they just forget to fully let go afterwards. They stay sort of half-tensed.
Yeah, you just think work the muscle, not rest the muscle within the rep itself. Exactly, but think about, say, your bicep again. If you kept it slightly flexed all day, or even just didn't straighten your arm fully between curls at the gym, what happens?
It gets tight, sore, probably weaker in the long run.
Precisely. Tight, fatigued, less flexible, dysfunctional, maybe even painful. You don't build strength properly because it never returns to its full resting state. It's the exact same for your pelvic floor. If you don't fully release, you're not letting the muscle get back to its resting length. You're just building tension, not functional strength.
So it's got to be a complete squeeze, hold it, and then a really deliberate, complete release, not just kind of easing off slightly.
Yes, absolutely. A full release. The muscle needs that return to resting lengths before you ask it to contract again. That full cycle, strong squeeze, hold, full release, rest, that's what builds both strength and flexibility, the ability to contract powerfully and relax completely. Without the release, you risk creating a tight, overactive pelvic floor, which ironically can actually make problems like urgency or even pain worse.
That's a really important point about the full range of motion. Okay, muscle identified, full release understood, but even then, it seems easy to mess up, especially if you're eager for results. What's the mistake that trips people up when they actually start doing them regularly? I bet it's the more is better trap.
You hit the nail on the head. That's mistake number 3. Trying to do way too many, way too soon, going from, zero to hero overnight.
Yeah, classic.
So many guys think, okay, I got to do hundreds of these, or I need to feel a major burn. But Dr. Chen stressed, your pelvic floor muscles might be quite weak or unused to this kind of isolation at first. You might genuinely only be able to do a few good controlled contractions before you fatigue or lose form. And that's totally fine. That's where you start.
And rushing it is bad because what are the actual downsides of overdoing it, besides just maybe wasting time on bad reps?
Well, the desire for quick results is understandable, but the pelvic floor needs consistency and quality. Quantity comes later. Overdoing it, especially right at the start, is really counterproductive. Doing, say, 5 perfect Kegels is far, far better than doing 50 sloppy ones.
Right.
Because when you overtrain, you just increase that muscle tension we talked about. You can actually aggravate the symptoms you're trying to fix, like urgency, frequency, or even cause new pelvic pain. Dr. Chen mentioned seeing guys who jumped into like 50 reps 3 times a day and ended up feeling worse, more uncomfortable. It's just pushing too hard, too fast.
Okay, that's a clear warning. So for someone starting out, maybe they only feel a tiny movement. How do they build up safely? What's the sensible progression?
The absolute key is to start with what you can actually manage while maintaining perfect form that includes the full release. So maybe that's just 5 good contractions. Hold each squeeze for, say, 3 seconds. Then, crucially, take a full 3 seconds or even longer to completely relax in between.
Build slowly.
Build slowly. Consistency is way more important than intensity at the beginning. Your pelvic floor needs progressive overload, just like any muscle, not shock and awe. As you get stronger, you can gradually add more reps, maybe hold the contraction a second longer, but it's gradual. Think quality over quantity, always.
Quality over quantity. Got it. Okay. Mistake number 4. This one sounds subtle but important, according to the source. Holding your breath. So no straining, face turning red, neck veins popping out. More like calm focus.
Exactly right. Holding your breath is such a common subconscious thing people do when they exert effort, especially when they're straining or unsure. You instinctively brace your core, hold your breath. It increases pressure inside your abdomen.
Yeah.
But for Kegels, that pressure actually works against you. It makes it harder to isolate just those small pelvic floor muscles. You end up tensing everything around them instead.
Okay. So breathing normally is key. Are there other physical clues? Like, how can you tell if you are accidentally holding your breath or maybe clenching other stuff without realizing it? Any self-checks?
Yeah, definitely. Listen to your body after you do your Kegels. If you notice that your stomach feels tight or your lower back aches, or even if you get a headache,
A headache? Really?
yes, or jaw tension, those are all strong signs you were probably holding your breath or clenching your abs, glutes, or jaw, or using compensatory muscles. The effort wasn't isolated, it spilled over. Your Kegel session shouldn't feel like a full body workout or leave you feeling tense elsewhere. It should be focused.
That's a really useful feedback to look out for. This whole deep dive, it really hammers home how much precision matters with these exercises. It's clearly not just about doing Kegels, it's about doing them correctly.
Absolutely. Understanding that hammock of muscles, really grasping its role, and then consciously avoiding these four big mistakes. Wrong muscles, no relaxation, too much too soon, holding your breath. That's what unlocks the benefits. It transforms it from something potentially frustrating or useless into a really powerful tool for your health and well-being.
Yeah, it feels empowering to know that these small, precise adjustments can make such a huge difference. It's not some complicated routine, just requires focus.
Exactly right. Knowledge is power here, and then it's about consistent, correct execution. Even just a few minutes each day, done the right way, can lead to really significant improvements. Life-changing for some guys. It shows what's possible with focused internal work. And it makes you think, given how fundamental this hidden muscle group is for health, for pleasure, what other unseen muscles might we be neglecting in our overall approach to well-being and performance? Something to chew on.